thanks for clicking. If you haven't been a regular watcher of this channel so far, what can you expect? Well, you can expect a bit of rambling from me, and you can expect to see how I set up my planners. You can expect to get some tips and ideas, hopefully. But you know what? More than anything else, hopefully you can get a chance to just sit and do nothing for a while I just talk in the background. So there we go. Right. Oh my goodness, this has been such a long time. I posted on Instagram for the first time since November the other day, and if you're watching this live, you'll know that it is now March. That's been quite a break. And I said on Instagram that I've been completely absent while I've been, what's the word for it, enjoying first trimester of pregnancy. I'm now just over halfway there, and I'm feeling more human, hence I'm back. To give you a bit of context, this planner was supposed to be, I'm laughing because it was supposed to be my start of 2022 planner, but it's March, so clearly that didn't happen, did it? So I'm just gonna presume that didn't happen, and let's just pretend it's January. I don't know. Anyway, here you are. Here is my setup then for, I'm just gonna say 2022. Yeah, there we go, we'll go with that. So this is a Malden. It's a Filofax Malden, and if you've seen my videos in the past, you will know that I do like these Malden planners. They can be a bit hit and miss. I've had some problems with the leather texture, I've had some problems with the rings, but this one is good, and when they're good, I think these are great. I'm not sure whether these are my favourite planners or not. The side pockets take a little bit of getting used to, but I just really like the contrast stitching and the colour and the size, really. Now, I haven't been in an A5 planner for quite a while, and I was thinking that I'm going to try my hardest to stay in one planner for the whole year. I don't know if that's going to be possible. I might have to change planner colour, possibly, if my restless kind of planner syndrome kicks in, but I'm going to try and stay in this one. So in this video then, I'm just going to talk you through how I've set it up, why I've set it up that way, and you'll see that it is completely different. For a start, I have got monthly tabs in here, which I don't normally have. So that is the first massive change. So I don't want to make this video super long, so I'm just going to try and blast through. So a quick word, first of all, about the front pockets. So I like decorating my planner. I like decorating it in advance, purely because when I use it, when it's, you know, just a normal planner session, I tend to use it quickly. I tend to go in and find something out and put it down, or I tend to write a note at the start of the week to see what I'm doing and then move on. I don't tend to sit down and spend ages decorating it because I just don't have the time, and I would love to, but I don't. So my approach to decorating my planner is always do all of the setting up in advance, make it really easy to do stuff later by having stuff like stickers ready, having washi tape ready, anything I might use like a coloured pen there and ready, so I don't have to worry about carrying any extra supplies with me. But mostly it'll just be good to go and fill in, so I can just use it in a really functional, practical kind of way. So the front pockets, I normally tend to add as much colour and interest as I can, just because it's one of these pre-set up things I can kind of just leave. Now, I like to have a mix of colours as well as function. So in the front here, I've got a stash of spare mini dots. And have I got some flags in here? God, I set this up so long ago, I can't even remember. Ah, there we go, yes. So I have some dot and flag stickers to use as I go through. Those are all new ones. If you're thinking, oh, I don't remember seeing those before, you haven't. So I've already, oh, look at this. I set it up in February. It's out of date already. Good Lord, all right. Let's get rid of that one. Put a March in later, shall I? So I've got a new task card. So I've got, if you want to just have a look at how exciting my day is, it's got things like pregnancy posture. It's because clearly I need reminders about how to stand so I'm not half crippled by the end of the day. So I have all of these little reminders that I would normally take out when I'm using a planner, just to remind myself, well, have I done all this stuff today? And I have little sticky notes, that kind of thing, memo sheets, so I can use that to just whack an important reminder right on the front so I don't forget anything that I need to remember. This is not my only form of planning. I also use electronic planning too. I will do a different video on that. I found myself saying that a lot, but I'm going to batch record a whole load of videos this weekend to tie me over for the next couple of months. So there will be. It's planned, it will happen. I'm back. So let me just go and talk you through then. So I've got a clear cover on the start. If you've seen any of my videos before, you know I like having one of these crystal covers on the front just to protect my dashboard. You can see it's already got a little bit dimpled from the zipper. It just protects your first page. And also, if you are going to put any sticky notes on the front, it's also really handy because it means they don't get knocked around so much. So it's a good surface for that. So I have my inbox section, which I've been having in my planners for a really long time now, but this is a little bit different. The first difference is, well, this isn't the first difference because it's an anti-planner page, that's not different at all. But the first difference is the type of inbox I'm using. I've redesigned this. I found that when I had my other type of inbox insert, if you've had a look before, or if even you've got one of these in your planner, I had loads of lines and some boxes to tick off at the side, which was great and it works well. But I'm the kind of person that when I've filled up half of it, I don't want to use the rest of the page because it just starts to look a bit messy, and I might have switched pens part way through and clearly I have issues. But with this one, I don't know, I think it kind of lends itself to using it in a different kind of way. So the idea with this one is, instead of writing on a line and then ticking off, I write it in a box, and then I say whether I'm going to do it soon, whether it's going to be scheduled, whether it's a long-term activity, whether I'm going to delegate it or migrate it. In other words, just do something different with it, either delay, forget about it for a while or something, or whether I can't do anything on it yet because I'm waiting for a response on something. So when I've done it, I'm just going to literally just cross it through. So I've got lots of space for that and some spares as well. And then I've got these are my well, I suppose I call them weekly pages, because I think some people like to have Monday to Sunday and then a notes bit, but actually I like these for mini lists because who doesn't love a good list? Oh, so satisfying. But I never want, especially with A5, I think you have to use your page a bit differently if you're in an A5 planner. I never want to have a whole page for a list. They tend to be really small. So this is my list stuff. And then I've got, this is my 4-section daily planner, just in case I'm having a bit of a crazy day and I want to just sit down and just clear my head at the start of the day. I've not even got a daily section. I'm not anticipating using these much at the moment because of how I'm doing my electronic planning as well. This has got a different kind of function. I'll come to that in a minute. So I think that's all I have in my inbox section. This is just the quick scribble it down, what am I dealing with first of all kind of section. I find that so useful. So then the planner kind of splits into 2 different sections. I've got, and these are mostly different if you've seen my other videos so far, they tend to be kind of similar. This is completely different. I have a self-care section, which again, I tend to have a self-care or a personal section that tends to be blank, embarrassingly so, for the whole duration of the planner. But no, I am determined. This will happen this time. And in this section here, I've got future adventures page, which I really like using because, you know, when you see those, I don't know, adverts or articles, or you get those recommendations like, oh, we just went to a brilliant place, and you think, oh yeah, I'm totally going to go there, and then you forget, and it's like it was never even a thing in the first place. I like to write it down. So I've got that in here, and then I've got my wish list, which I may not use so much because I tend to be a bit of a spender. The idea of keeping something on a wish list I think is a good one, and I should do that, but ultimately I'm just like, oh, I might just get that. Oh. Anyway, so I have here then a sheet of headings, because again, I'm terrible, because you know when you were at school and you used to have like your exercise books and it was your first page and you had to have it really nice, otherwise the whole thing was ruined. Did you have that, or is that just me? But I kind of have the same thing. If I don't have a heading on a paper and I have to write the heading on, if it's not neat enough, I'm like, oh, I've ruined that now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use these headings here, stick them on here so I know it's going to look really nice. Maybe put like an adventurous strip of washi or something, and then I can start using it. So at least I've made a good start. So you can see here, these are the sorts of things that I want to have in my self-care section. The idea of this is it's kind of like a reference point, and it's the sort of place where I probably won't use it all the time, but when I'm feeling a little bit you know the feeling, or whether you just feel like you need to just shake things up, or like get back on track a little bit, or just remind yourself of those things that you thought at one point, oh, this is good for me, I should do this. This is the section where all of that is going to go. So I basically have then a load of blank pages for those headings, and I will be filling them out. This is, I think, one of those good activities for, I mean, people say to me sometimes, I want to use my planner, but I don't know what to put in it. This is one of those good activities that when you don't have many plans, use it as like a personal, I don't know, like a personal instruction book, or like a personal manual or something, you know, like write down a really good guide for how to be you as you kind of want to be, I suppose, in a way. Speaking of that, one of the other things that I'm desperate to get back into, and I haven't managed it yet, but oh, I haven't managed much for the last 20 weeks, to be fair. I really want to do more creative stuff, more art stuff, more drawing, more painting, that kind of thing. So I've got a creative section, which hopefully will just remind me every time I open my planner, oh yeah, remember you wanted to do more creative things. If nothing else, that's good. So I've got, I don't know if you've seen the Oatmeal's comic strip on the internet about creativity being like breathing. It is amazing. I love it. I love it so much. It's just a really good reminder just not to get burnt out and to do other things, and oh, I love it so much. But again, along those lines of having a personal manual, things that inspire you, I think, or keep you going, or you know, the sort of things that you need when you're not feeling particularly inspired or good or on form. This is what I want to have in this planner this time. So that's going to go there. I'm also going to print off a few reference pictures or favourite bits from my Pinterest boards, like that kind of thing, and just stick them in here just so it's a reminder where it kind of needs to be, really. Do you find that we have all of this stuff all over the place? Like, you know, if you see something when you're out and about or something and you just take a quick picture of it to remind yourself of it. So then you've got your phone as a reminder of stuff, and maybe you might email yourself a link, so or someone sends you an email, so you've got your inbox, you've got your planner, you might have Pinterest boards, you might have saved stuff on Instagram, and you have all these different sources of your information, and it just gets lost. I think your planner, in a way, draws it all together. That's how I'm hoping to use it anyway. So the other thing I want to do this year, oh, I love this page. I've just forgotten I've done this. I'm really excited about this. So the other thing I want to do this year is more reading, because I love reading. I love it so much. I love reading fiction, non-fiction, anything, but I'm really bad at remembering to do it. So again, I'm using my planner as like a bit of a nagger, you know, like a, remember you wanted to look after yourself, remember you wanted to be creative, remember you wanted to read, you know, all of these kind of things. So I've got a reading tab. So in here, oh, I had a proper like primary school kind of moment. Do you remember just when you used to have sticker books when you were little and you'd been able to like just place the sticker in the right place, and it was just so satisfying. I've done like an adult version of that. Well, that sounds dodgy, doesn't it? I've done a grown-up version of that. So I've got here my completed book stickers. So I've identified some of the books that I really want to read this year, and I'm just scanning and I can already peel off some of these stickers. What I'm going to do is, when I've finished a book, I'm going to peel it off. I'm going to stick it on here. I'm going to be so happy when I'm doing this. I'm going to stick it on there, and I'm going to put my little star rating. So I've then got something to look back on. So look how far I've come. Look how many books I've read. Keep going. And do you know, I already can't remember what I've read this year. It all kind of tends to blur into one. So I think being able to just look and think, oh, actually, no, I am doing quite well at this. Or even to think, oh, look at all those stickers left on there. No, I'm going to read some more. Because if I'm not really conscious, I just scroll news feeds and, oh God, like movie news and all of that kind of thing. When actually, I think reading is a lot better for me. So anyway, I've got that. I've got a notable quotes page. In case I come across anything that makes me just think, oh, that's just lovely, I want to remember it. And I've also got a reading journal page as well. This is more for if I am reading something that's more kind of like self-development-y, I suppose. I was going to reread Habits by James Clear, which is such a good book. And I find I read it and I'm totally sold. I'm totally on board with everything. And I'm the sort of person that when I put a book down, it's like I never read it. I remember it being good, but I don't remember what they said. So I'm going to try and just use these in conjunction and just actually, like, you know, do a few things that are suggested. I've got loads more of these, but I've only got one for now because, well, there's a lot of fiction on that list. So, brain dump. Right, you will know already if you've watched my other videos that I tend to have a brain dump section in my planner. This is different. Ooh, very excited. I'm just gonna turn over because this is a 2-page spread. This is my new version of my brain dump planner. I have a tear off pad that I really enjoy using, and I have a brain dump insert that was kind of like my inbox one, so you list and tick off and do stuff. But actually I think having a list to write is great if you already know what's on your mind, but sometimes I think you need questions, you need prompts, and it's only when you're asked a question you realise, oh yeah, no, there was that, I'd forgotten about that. So that's why I like using my brain dump pad, because it asks those kinds of questions of me. So this is a bit of a hybrid mix. So on this one I've got like a stuff to do section, so this is basically like just a big tasks bit, and then I've got my upcoming dates and appointments for things that I just haven't read, messages. Oh, I always have people to get back to or messages to respond to. I'm terrible with that. And things to buy, things that are just urgent, any self-care ideas. And on my pocket planner ages ago, I did a what am I thinking about section, and I really liked it because it's one of those things where, you know, you just have things hanging over you, like worries, or maybe someone said something and you're just like, oh, what did they mean by that? You know, that kind of thing. I just think it really helps just to write it down and then just think, look, am I going to actually do something about this, or am I just going to let it go? And just the act of just ticking off, I'm going to let it go, means that you've just kind of, you've got rid of it, you know, it just feels much better. And then next steps, because any of this stuff could have a, right, I'm doing this next. The idea with this isn't an ongoing insert to fill in. It's one of these things where, and I'll do a separate video on this because, oh, I just think it's so important. But you know, when you get to that headspace when you're feeling like a little bit overwhelmed, maybe you can't put your finger on what it is that is making you feel a bit off, or maybe you're so busy that you've just been doing one thing after another without having time to think about anything, or maybe you're on the verge of doing something big like moving, or I don't know, having a baby or something, and you just need to just think, oh god, just to empty my head. That's for this. And then on that one occasion when you've sat down and you've gone through everything, you then take this information and either decide, right, this is what I'm going to do, this is not as important as I thought, and then you can just transfer it into the rest of your planner and just move on. And I think it gives you that kind of calm feeling when you've gone through that kind of exercise. I just find it so helpful. So this time, this is the only thing that I'm going to have in my brain dump section. So then I've got boring gold notes, boring but useful, so useful. And then we come to the different section of the planner. Right, okay. So this was my general stuff. This is more of a, right, okay, I've got stuff happening. Now, whether you're going to go for a monthly planner with literal monthly tabs on them or not, that's a whole other big area. And I'm not going to go into that now, but I have planned to do a video on that purely because I have gone for this option for the first time in what seems like forever. So I'm just going to skip forward to March. I ambitiously started with January here, and also yes, these are new monthly dividers in case you're looking. Oh, hang on, I'm not going to skip too much because I've got a sheet in February I need to show you. So this is my clear dashboard. Now I've put slits in the hole so it comes out so easily, so satisfying. This is a dashboard that I'm going to take out and put in whatever month I'm working on. And do you remember I said at the start of the video that I like to have my washi tape kind of handy? This I think is such a good use for these clear covers. I've also got a couple of sticky pockets on there so I can just have that ready and to hand, and that'll just pop in there. So when I'm going to start planning, I just remind myself, what am I doing this week? What am I doing this month? It's just there and ready. Okay, so, oh, hang on. Oh, good Lord. I've just honestly been meaning to do this for so long. Let me just take my page marker out and then move that into the right section. Oop. Okay, I'm just gonna put that up there for a bit. Okay, so here is my monthly section. They are all the same. I'm not going to go through each month because they're all the same. So in a month section on here, I'm using this as a kind of stop and think sort of reminder. So I think, I don't know about you, but I just get so busy and just so wrapped up in everything. I just get on this treadmill, and I think every now and again it's really good to just pause and think, okay, hang on, am I going in the right direction here? Am I doing what I wanted to be doing? What's going on? So I think it would be a really good idea to pause and just think about some mini goals. Oh, I was going to have such a different year. We were going to move to the seaside. I was going to be on a massive like healthy lifestyle weight loss year, and then baby happened. And I just thought, you know what, my goal this year is to stay sane and comfortable and to have a healthy baby. So goal setting out of the window for a bit, but monthly goals I think are great because you can have a, you know what, this month I need to be more active. I need to do some stretches every day, you know, like mini goals that are really easy to do. And I think that anytime you identify a goal, you need to identify why you're doing it, because it's really easy to do stuff when you're first motivated, but when that wears off, that's when you need that why to kind of carry you forward. So I've also got just some monthly tasks. I've got things that I want to make time for, like nice things, and also important dates just to remind me as a quick glance. Because I think when you've got a monthly overview, so like a month sheet like this, the important dates, unless you do something like colour code or washi or stickers or whatever, they tend to get really buried. So I think it's really useful just to have a glance at upcoming dates and just think, oh, okay, I've got like 4 presents to buy this month, that kind of thing. So I have a dated insert. I don't normally do this, but it's dated. It's dated because I've got the whole year, and it's the sort of thing where at the moment I have lots of appointments to keep on top of, and things like just different vaccinations and tests and all this kind of stuff and scans. So for me this year, I felt it was really useful to actually have that dated a long time in advance, so I know I can just put it all in. Normally when I have a planner, I have an undated month and I only have a few months at a time, but I'm in just the long game this time. So that's that page there. I also have a page to really stop and pause and think about habits and health, because this again is my kind of focus this time round. Habit tracking, incidentally, is something that I think you need to tweak a little bit to make it work really well for you. I think that you can track your habits on a weekly, a monthly, an annual kind of basis, and depending on what you want and the kind of habits they are, they've all got different kind of strengths when you use them in different ways. So I will do a whole video on this as well. I've planned it. It's going to be out in the next couple of months. Keep an eye on my social media if you want to be updated. Oh, incidentally, I'm also going to be dropping some discount codes on my social media too. So if you follow me on Instagram, anything like that, keep an eye out. That's what I'm going to be doing. And also just a quick shout out as well that if you are not signed up to my newsletter yet, you may not have noticed if you are, because I haven't sent any out for a really long time. But if you go to www.sortstuffout.co.uk, then you will get a little pop-up that will ask you if you want to sign up to my newsletter. I'm preparing a whole load of freebies to be emailing out each month when I send out those newsletters, so get subscribed. I will tell you what's new, what's coming up, and all that kind of stuff in those newsletters anyway, so they're quite useful. Anyway, back to habit tracking. So I'm going to track a maximum of 5 habits a month. Again, as with the goals, I've got like a why it needs to be done and also some tips. So there are things that you can do when you're trying to get into new habits to make it really easy. So if you want to take vitamins every day, if you put them where you know you're always going to see them, maybe it's next to your toothbrush or next to your kettle or whatever, you know, little bits like that. So a reminder that I'm going to think of in advance about how to make it easier, and then I'm just going to tick off every day that it gets done, or put one of those little tiny dot stickers on or something like that. Health tracking again. Oh, I've had so many headaches and migraines and everything lately, but I think it's useful to log stuff. I don't think that's just a pregnancy thing. I mean, if you are keeping an eye on any kind of health symptom, then any kind of tracking is just really useful for you to identify any sort of patterns, or if you're going to bring it up with the doctor or something, it's just really useful to have everything there so you can say, well, actually, yeah, like for this whole week, this was a bad week. So I'm also going to have my reflection, which is at the end of the month. You may have seen this before if you've watched any of my other videos. So it's that balance wheel to help you think about how you're doing in all those different areas of your life. And then as a result of that, what do you need to do stuff with? What do you need to make time for? And then lastly, this is my new weekly layout. This is kind of why I wanted A5, because you get so much space with A5, and you may not need that much space, but if you do, if you've got a lot of things to think about, to write down or to record or to track, it's the perfect size for it, because I could fit loads on here. So I'm going to be keeping a really careful eye on how much I work throughout the week and what my energy is doing, and hopefully if I track my energy every week, I might notice that I've always got like a particular like good time to get stuff done, like my most productive time. Like I tend to have a 2 p.m. complete slump and I'm normally asleep around 3 p.m. So, you know, the kind of like patterns for me. So if I want to be like at my most productive, then I know that if my working hours are completely clashing with that, then that's not so good. I've also got my habits on here as well, just as a quick reminder, because if I only have them in a monthly section and I don't see them every week, it's just that a bit harder to follow through because you just don't have it there in your face, do you? So I also have a bit for, well, the date and what am I thinking about in general. And then every day I'm going to have what my plans are, what I need to do, gratitude, what I've eaten, and what I've done to look after myself. So again, there's a kind of functional, typical planner side, but there's the whole just look after yourself and just stay sane, stay healthy, stay comfortable kind of area to it as well. So I've also got what's helped and what's not helped. So I think it's useful as well to have a think about, well, what's got in the way this week, or what have you done that's actually made it easier? You know, like, have I made an effort to just drink loads of smoothies, and have I then noticed an energy like increase as a result of that, that kind of thing. I've also got in here that whole, what shall I make time for? So at some point I might think, do you know what, I just want to have an evening where I just chill out and read and, you know, stick on a face mask, and, you know, so it's that kind of thing, just to remind me if I'm getting most of the way through the week and I've just been on that treadmill, just to remind me, no, I'm gonna make time for this, this is gonna happen. And also this is a little upcoming, because I don't know if you're like this or if it's just me, but it's like, if it's not on this page, it doesn't exist. I like that thing where you turn over the next week and you think, oh god, yeah, I forgot that was coming up. So I like to have an important reminder area, like, this is coming, you know, turn the page, just a little reminder. So anyway, that is kind of it. Every month is the same. I haven't printed off everything for each of these months, so I tend to just have just the monthly bit rather than weeks for everything, just so I've got, as a very, very bare minimum, dates that I can add to. And in the back of my planner I've got my oh so useful little pocket with all of my stickers in that I'm going to be hopefully using or making time for, because some of them, they're so cute. Look how cute these are. It's a cheesecake sticker, that's adorable. And a trusty page lifter at the end as well, to make sure it doesn't all get curled and wrinkly, because this is a chunky planner. Right then, so, right, I'm done. If you are still watching, thank you, and I'm sorry it's been so long. It will not be as long again until the next one, I promise. So as well, if you can think of someone who would enjoy this, please send it to them. If you have enjoyed the video, please give it a like. You have no idea actually how much it helps. It really, really, really does help. And please leave me a comment. I've been terrible at replying to comments just lately, as I have been with everything, but oh, I love reading them so much. So I'd love to hear from you. Anyway, I'm off. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.